Welcome to the second session on disinfection. Myself, Vahini M of GEC Haveri. So, in the last session, we have discussed about disinfection using physical methods, and in this session, we are going to discuss about chemical methods of disinfection. Why it is called it as a chemical method means that disinfectant what we are going to use to disinfect water is chemicals. So chemicals are used as disinfectants in this case, therefore the name is chemical method of disinfection. So the different forms of chemicals that can be used to disinfect water are as oxidizing chemicals, using metal ions, using alkalis and acids, and then using surface active chemicals. So in this session we will discuss about disinfection using oxidizing chemicals. So oxidizing chemicals in the form of bromine and iodine, that is treatment with bromine and iodine, and then treatment with ozone, and then treatment with potassium permanganate. So these three methods will be discussed in this session along with the merits and demerits. So first let us take up treatment with bromine and iodine. As the name itself suggests, we are going to use iodine and bromine as the disinfectants in this method. Iodine is a bluish black solid and bromine is a dark reddish brown liquid. When iodine is added to water, it forms hypoiodous acid and its dissociation will result in the form of hypoiodide ions. Whereas when bromine is added to water, it forms hypobromous acid and its dissociation will result in the formation of hypobromite ions. Iodine, it reacts less with organic matter as compared to the chlorine, and it is relatively stable in water. The bactericidal effect of bromine is almost similar to that of chlorine. The usual dosage of iodine or bromine is about 8 ppm and its contact period is about 5 minutes. The iodine is available in the form of pellets or in the form of small pills so that we can directly use it in the disinfection process. So advantages of using iodine and bromine are, it is very handy process as they are available in the form of pills. It provides longer lasting protection against the pathogens. It reduces the offensive tastes and odors. It is suitable for disinfecting small water supplies such as for army troops, private plants and swimming pools, etc. So the disadvantages are, it is very costly as iodine and bromine are costly. The process becomes very costly and it is not suitable for treating public water supplies. So the next method is treatment with ozone. So ozone is a faintly blue gas of pungent odor. It is produced by passing air under high electric currents. The air is passed under high electric currents. The air oxygen will be converted into ozone. 3O2 will be converted into 2O3. So as ozone is highly unstable, again this ozone O3 will be dissociated into O2 plus O. That means a normal oxygen and a nascent oxygen. So this nascent oxygen is a highly powerful oxidizing agent. So this nascent oxygen removes organic matter as well as bacteria from the water. So the dosage is around 2 to 3 ppm is required so as to maintain a residual ozone of 0.1 ppm after a contact period of 10 minutes. So advantages of treating using ozone are, ozone is a powerful disinfectant. Its efficiency remains unaffected with the temperature as well as pH of water. So that means the temperature and pH value will not affect the disinfection process using ozone. The bactericidal action is more rapid with ozone, and hence the contact period is reduced. It is lesser short contact time is required. It is highly effective in removal of taste and odors, color, iron and manganese from the water. It does not impart any offensive taste or odor to water, or it does not produce any toxic substances such as chlorinated hydrocarbons. There is no danger of over treatment because ozone decomposes into oxygen. So since ozone is generated at the point of use, there is no transport and storage problems. So these are the advantages of using ozone as disinfectants, and it also does not involve any storage of dangerous chemicals. Okay. So next, disadvantages of treatment with ozone. So it is very costlier, much costlier than chlorine process. Since ozone is quite unstable, it does not provide residual protection against recontamination. So that means it will not provide a safety against recontamination. Ozone needs electricity for its manufacture, hence it may be difficult to adjust the treatment variation in loads and to changes in water quality with regard to ozone demand. Since ozone cannot be stored or supplied in cylinders, as it has to be manufactured at the plant itself, a complicated equipment called as ozonizer is required to be installed at the treatment plant. And this process is not suitable for treating public water supplies. So it requires skilled labor and electricity for its operation. So as power is required for the production of ozone, so there are possibilities of interruption due to failure of, and this method is normally used in the developed countries. So next is the method of treatment with potassium permanganate. So potassium permanganate is used as disinfectant in this method. It is a popular disinfectant process in rural areas to disinfect well water supplies. That means water sources, when the water source is well. So to disinfect such sources, potassium permanganate is a popular disinfectant in such cases, wherein the amount of bacteria are lesser as compared to the open sources. Potassium permanganate is dissolved in a bucket of water and then it is thoroughly mixed with the well water. The normal dosage of potassium permanganate is around 1 to 2 milligram per liter with a contact period of 4 to 6 hours. And further, you cannot use that water for 48 hours after addition of potassium permanganate. So the advantages of using potassium permanganate are, it is very cheap and handy, which removes the cholera producing organisms, and it is suitable for disinfecting well water supplies, especially in rural areas. So potassium permanganate is also used as algicide to remove color and iron from water. So the disadvantages are, it is of little use against other disease producing organisms. It is not suitable for treating public water supplies. So water treated with potassium permanganate produces a dark brown precipitate which is difficult to remove. So these are today's content, that is, in this session we have discussed about how to disinfect water using chemically, that is especially using oxidizing agents, that means using ozone, using potassium permanganate, and as well as iodine and bromine. In the next session we will take up the remaining methods of chemical methods of disinfection. Thank you.